Today I have signed applications to move to a COTS program um, during the hours of my work, and I will be definitely moving from this house as as the weeks that we'll be heading into it prior to moving out of here and going on to Chris Manny's district. But also, the situation has was a real challenge getting the training procedures taken care of today, because there were a lot of people with a whole bunch of other agendas that were um, that were not considered with my considered agendas either. So they tried to change up stuff without me knowing about it, and they decided to reschedule stuff and tried to do that within the and not within the 3 hours window concerning any type of schedule changes, and not checking the schedule beforehand. So it kind of infuriated me, because I was actually scheduled for certain things and not other things. So they tried to reschedule me at the same time when it wasn't written down on the schedule profile or vectored into the schedule profile. And it not only is like not informing me firsthand, which was not a good thing, because what it does is it puts the schedule profiled to an unworkable situation, and made the the schedule profile worthless. So it just and that's one of the things that's rather frustrating, to say plenty, because there were other things that needed to be done and other things that were not getting done because of that situation. So it sometimes goes as people trying to change stuff without really thinking it through before changing something or other. And what it does is there's always unforeseen circumstances when people do stuff that they don't think about. And it's no worse than entering a program into a computer without really knowing what the program's going to do or how it's going to be considered workable or otherwise. And that's the problem with certain things, because it is known fact which goes into question. And this is the problem with so many things, including programming and computers and whatnot. And it does within my world, because stuff does change. And sometimes they change stuff for the wrong agenda or for the wrong situation concerning those factors. And that's one of the many problems that we do face concerning any sort of considered reasoning or vice versa. And when it comes down to it and boils down to it, there's so many things that the future is different within each and every other different world. My world and my environment is completely different, and my community is very, very different, and all that, which is very, very hard for people to process that are not used to the type of world that I'm representing on or towards. and that's considered within my Facebook or my YouTube channels or vice versa. All of these things are very, very different because the world that I represent is totally, totally different than what would be considered understandable with either a cable company or a media company that is owned by NBC, CBS, or ABC, or any of the others. But under Chris Brown and Monster, these things are very, very different under that roof and under those situations as well. And computer programming dates back to when my sister was a part of my life and a part of what my environment was and what my world was back then. But she is still a great big part of my world. Even moving out of Santa Rosa and moving to Petaluma and vice versa, which also is one of the many key issues that is dated even with the number 17 and with the number 1717, which is one of those many, many things that dates back to my sister when she lived on West 3rd Street. But I was in my infancy back then, before I had learned computers and learned how to make stuff, learn how to build all sorts of things and networking and so forth, which is so many of those things that we didn't realize until way later concerning those factors.